Hello, everybody. My name is Alfred Lewis Alexander, President, CEO of Alexander Funeral Home, located in Charlotte, North Carolina, the oldest minority-owned business in Charlotte, Mecklenburg. Our funeral home was actually founded a little bit before 1914. When I say that, I mean my grandfather, who was involved with an entity called Smith & Coles, he actually bought the business from the widows of the founders of that particular entity, which then put him and his sons in the funeral business. He was active also before that in what was called the North Carolina Mutual Insurance Company. He was the regional director for the insurance company. At the time, he saw that as a way of getting out of that business into his own business by becoming an owner of Alexander Funeral Home. He had 4 sons. Well, he actually had 5. One passed early on. And they were kind of put in place to be in the business. However, 2 of them went on to do something else, and the 2 that remained was my father, Kelly Sr., and his brother, Zachariah Alexander Jr. And of course, there was Fred Alexander, who ended up being a major politician, and Louis Alexander, who ended up going to New Jersey living and was in the postal services. However, all of them stayed close, and all of them got involved in as you do in a family operation. Even though you're not in business, you're in business, and you came through the business to help out in the business. But the business got started, and we got active in terms of helping the community. The Alexander Funeral name is a prominent name, we kind of think, in the funeral industry, in the funeral community, because our folks taught us to treat people like you wish to be treated. And that's where we stand today. Our old saying was courteous and prompt, because we believed in being courteous to our general public and very prompt in terms of when you called us, we got right to the point of getting you handled as you should be when a death occurs. Okay, my grandfather, of course, was also active in the Prince Hall Masonic operation. He was also involved with the Mile Street School, had a problem with the stairs or steps on the outside of the building were wood. He was very instrumental in getting that changed and getting improvements at the elementary school at that time, years ago. But he was active. He was active. His sons were active. That was something we were taught as well, as to be active in your community. You can't do anything if you aren't known, number one. You can't do anything if you are not active in the community that's going to participate in your business, participate in you doing things. And if you can get paid by people in your community, you don't have to worry about when you want to talk about something to improve your community. You're not locked down. You can actually feel better about what you're doing, because you can talk freely about anything and improve on anything, because you have no locks on you and in your mouth. So that's one reason we wanted to be in business, so we could help others, so when they went on to do things, they could do it without worrying about somebody having their backs. And we've always had the backs of our community, and we've always wanted people to improve themselves by education, by voting. My father ran for city council at an early time in his development. He also got active in what was called the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. He became a local branch president. He also became state president of the NAACP. He went on before his death to be chairman of the national board of the NAACP. And as I said, with my grandfather was active in the Masonic body. He went on to be a potentate of one of the national operation. He went around the state of North Carolina setting up lodges throughout the state. He was very active locally, regionally. He did a lot to help the community. And also, if you're developing lodges, of course, you know, you're also developing what is called the Lady Auxiliary of that, which is the Eastern Star. Or I had to think about it for a minute, but it's the Order of Eastern Star. I'm an Eastern Star myself. Men can be Eastern Stars, of course, and that too helped the business in terms of what you did. It's just an important aspect of whatever you do when you can help people help themselves. And of course, with education and other things, organizations, church involvement, you name it. All of that is part of you becoming active in your community. And if you don't want to do business, you don't have to be active. But if you want to do something in your community, business-wise and otherwise, you should be active. And that's what we do. And we try to instill that in anybody that comes through our door. We always ask people to get active in their community. If you're going to be around here, we want you to be involved. We want you to also improve yourself in terms of your education, because you can't help us unless you know what you're doing. And we want you to know what you're doing so you can help others and help your families that you serve daily, because we are hooked on details. We're hooked on doing things to improve the lot of people that walk in this door to bury their loved ones. That's a one-shot deal. You know, you don't have that person but one time that you're dealing with, and you want people to feel like they can come back and call you again. And if you had a positive experience at Alexander Funeral Home, you will be back. The first major development in my life here was when my brother and I took over. I became president of the company in November of 1979. I guess that could have been called my birthday present. I was born November 10th, and I became president in November of 1979. One of the first things that happened to my brother and I, and my cousin Theodora, who also is still active today, we had the thing of the IRS came knocking and said, I could not get your daddy, I could not get your uncle, but now that you have taken over, you owe us $30,000. So that's a major development when it came to you just getting started, and you had to pay their obligation according to the IRS. So we had to come up with a way of doing that. So we had to beat the bushes. We had to go out because we had a basement full of uncollected monies. They did a lot of handshake deals then. They did a lot of you can get to me when you can. They even probably had cows and eggs and everything else that you traded with people and started having a funeral. We have books that went back to about, that's why it's strange when you say, when did you get started? Because we have books that went back to about 1911 and some other stuff where funerals are like $40 or $30-some, $50-some, things like that, where they got buggies and other things. Because we used to have horses and buggies and things like that at that time. And when I got started, I had to wash cars, put up tents, and do things that they wouldn't dare ask people to do today. You had to be more active. You had to actually go to people's homes and sit down with them and talk to them about arrangements and getting information for death certificates, things like that. All that was done in front of a room full of people, and you had to actually be proactive and and get things done right in front of everybody. I don't know if people would even want to do that today, because that's unheard of. But that's how I got started. And if I try to push that button today, people, number one, probably wouldn't know how to do it or what to do, but I had good trainers. And thank God I had good trainers. And that's why I can basically go to anybody's home and talk to them. I can go to any conference room and pull the whole 9 yards out of what you need for a service, from step one to the end, and tell you how we're going to do this and what you need to do step by step in terms of getting your loved one buried, in terms of getting what you need for paperwork and other things that you may need, even if it's clerk of court, whatever. So we try to walk you through what you need to do for your loved one, because sometimes you don't even talk about what they want at Thanksgiving, at Christmas. Those are the times that you should sit down with your loved one and say, well, what is it you want, Daddy? What is it you want, Grandma? Because a lot of times, and that's what pre-need's all about. A lot of people don't even think of, I don't know who I'm connected to. That's the time to find out. It's not when somebody dies to find out. You need to actually sit down with your loved one and determine what it is they want. Not what you want, but what do they want? How do they want to be remembered? Alexander Funeral Home has always set standards among our own people. We want people to come here, feel comfortable about being here, know that you're laying your loved one to rest, but you need to feel like you're a part of the family. We want you to walk in and feel comfortable. We try to have an atmosphere of information, of being comfortable, and knowing that the people that you said are gonna handle my loved one are people that I trust, because you can go into some facilities and you say, oh my God, these people are trying to get my money and they don't even care about my loved one. We care about your loved one. That has been the history of this business, and it continues to be the history of this business today. We pride in doing what you want done, but we also try to guide you in the direction you need to be in order to save you money. My most memorable moment as a funeral professional basically was working with my father. He taught me the business. He taught me how to do the business. And even when I was a young man, and you know how we lived in the Brooklyn community in Charlotte, and we lived in what was pretty much close to what is now uptown Charlotte, but it was downtown Charlotte back in the day. And you know why that was. But anyway, Charlotte has really grown, improved in many ways, but we still like to be a small town place where you can feel comfortable. And that's what we try to do here. No matter how big we get, what we do, we want you to feel comfortable about coming to Alexander Funeral Home and being able to sit down and talk to us about any problem that you may have as it relates to this death that's treating right now. We just want you to feel good about seeing us. We want you to feel good about doing what you got to do, and we want to walk you through it comfortably, without any pressure, without any problems. We want you to still live on after the death. A lot of people feel as if today, especially, that you're going to spend $14, $15, sometimes $20-some thousand. You do not need to do that. You can spend a lot less when it comes to funerals, because they have all kind of things that can bring prices down. But you have to come in with the mindset that you don't have to spend a whole lot of money at Alexander Funeral Home, because we're going to walk you through what you need to have without spending a lot of money, but having the same dignified service that anybody else would give you. Well, I started out talking about how we started and the problem we had with the IRS, but always in a minority business and a black-owned business especially, it was difficult to get the finances you needed to do things. So the biggest problem we've ever had is robbing Peter to pay Paul. And you could very seldom go to a bank. Some banks you could go to, but other banks, as soon as you walked in the door and they saw who you were and where you were coming from, they had a negative impression of what you may be asking about. So we had to actually depend more on the sales we made, the people we had to work for, and the community that believed in you. We hit a real period where we had to actually ask the community to have faith in us. We had to go to several churches, and ministers bought shares. Some other people bought shares in terms of making sure that we could continue on. So the biggest, I guess, lull or whatever in our development was having the community believe in us, because we didn't necessarily have to still be here. But the community said, we want you to be here because you are the oldest and the best. And we feel that you need to be here. And they took a pride in assisting us to still be on the scene. And we are very grateful to the community we serve that you believed in us, because we believe in you. My biggest motto is let the services you do speak for you. And also that treat everybody like you wish to be treated. Those are the two things that I stand by. Because when you walk in this door, I want you to feel good, as I've said earlier. I want you to feel as if I really take your concerns seriously, because I do.